thought, as the Brahmanas chanted the Vedic mantras, Vishwambhara came and sat in their midst. So in this way, aguru, sandalwood paste, flower garlands and all was brought. This is the Vivaha ceremony of Caitanya Mahaprabhu, who is Krishna himself. It is said Lakshmi Narayana Vivaha, Tulasi Shaligram Vivaha. They are very auspicious. And automatically there is a happiness which is experienced by each and everyone. If you see the material marriages, you don't have that type of happiness except for the family members who are associated. They feel some type of happiness, but still the satisfaction in the ceremony is only there when it is for the Lord. Caitanya Bhagavata 15 chapter 90th verse onwards. Sabare chandana mala dehati nabara चिंता नाही व्यया कर ये इच्छा यहार एक बार न्याय ये लयार बार ये आज्ञाय तहार कैले न प्रतिकार पाछे के ह चिनिया विप्रेर मंद बले परमार्थे दोष हय साठ्य करी नीले. Now everyone was intoxicated with ecstasy. And in that, they were unable to recognize each other. The Lord also smiled, gave instruction. He said, give sandalwood paste and garlands 3 times to everyone. Don't worry about the expenditure. Give freely to everyone. That is how the celebration happens. In the celebrations, practically, you start with 0, but it ends with so much of opulences because it is for Krishna. And in that way, there should not be any you can say any miserliness while performing the devotional service. And here the Lord's marriage is happening. Lord says, freely give 3 times garlands, sandalwood paste. And Lord is saying, don't worry about the expenditure, everything will come. By this instruction, the Lord indirectly forbade everyone from taking again and again. The Lord continued, if a Brahmana is caught cheating, he will be criticized and thus disgraced. So 3 times, he is allowed to take 3 times. Not that somebody has to be greedy also at the same time. Everybody should get. That was the whole intention of Gaur Sundar. Everyone should get. At the same time, there should not be any cheating propensity. The most magnanimous Sri Gaur Sundar gave instructions to give the Brahmanas pan, betel, garland, sandalwood 3 times, so that those Brahmanas who had once received pan, betel, garland, sandalwood, and came back in different dress to receive these items again would be satisfied and all their desires would be fulfilled. And so that unscrupulous people would be checked from condemning them as illegitimate, greedy cheaters. So unscrupulous people, those who don't have authority to speak about Brahmanas, also should not criticize the Brahman. At the same time, Brahmanas' greedy propensity also should be curbed. Brahmanas should never be greedy. That is why, because they were coming in different veshas to take the same thing. So then Lord said, 3 times give it. Better is give it 3 times. Then those unscrupulous people or those who have no authority to speak about Brahmanas will not criticize them. The second line of verse 92 indicates that if one cheats or deceives others to usurp something for himself, then from the spiritual point of view, there is a fault or sin. Therefore, this act is certainly immoral. There are henpecked persons who never fail to externally condemn others' immoral activities of lying, cheating, or deceiving others, while they themselves do not hesitate to lie, cheat, or deceive for the pleasure of their dearer than life wives. And furthermore, they openly justify such activities. So here, very wonderfully, it has been said, henpecked persons. Who are these henpecked persons? Henpecked persons means hearing from someone and just trying to criticize others. They never fail to even deceive their own wives also. That is why it is said, they themselves are immoral, but they will try to criticize others' immorality. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, to stop this criticism, at the same time, there should not be any immoral behavior. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, satisfy the Brahmanas very nicely. As soon as such people hear the statement, Yena kenapi upayena mana Krishna nivashita, somehow or the other, one must engage his mind in the absolute truth, Krishna, or see the behavior of those who follow this statement. They immediately scream. Morality has been transgressed. In this way, they exhibit their pride. They exhibit their pride. Pride is the only thing which makes a person fall in devotional service. So the moment they hear this word, yena kena prakarena or yena kenapi upayena mana Krishna niveshayat, somehow or the other, engage your mind in Krishna service. So somebody can say, oh, I am coming and standing in the prasadam line. By this, I can have Krishna's Krishna consciousness. There's nothing wrong. But greediness in that is something wrong. So now, to stop that, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, fill them, give them ample prasadam, ample everything, betel nut, pan, ample prasadam, so that the greediness will not come. But there are atheistic people who think that, see, on the name of devotion, these people are just greedy, eating everything, like when food distribution happens. Then everyone comes and stands in the line. Some people again and again come and take it. But there is nothing wrong. There's nothing wrong. But there's a problem if the other person who is also having the cheating propensity tries to speak something moral. So that is to be stopped. That is what here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says. To stop that, he says, give ample everything to everyone. Like ample prasadam should be distributed. It's not that little less. No, ample prasadam. Especially when sweet dish is there, everybody likes it. Some fried items are there, everyone likes it. Especially Brahmanas like them very much. So then give ample, Krishna says. Viprapriya prabhura chittera yai katha tina baradile purnahaive sarvata. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very affectionate to the Brahmanas. That is why first the Brahmanas are fed and then everyone is fed. So now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says 3 times give them and make them completely satisfied. First time when a person has it, he is captivated by the taste. Second time, he is filling his belly. Third time, his belly is filled, mind is not satisfied. So the third time is to satisfy the mind. First is what? First is taste conscious. Second is trying to satisfy the hunger. And third time is, even though the hunger is satisfied, mind is not satisfied. So to satisfy that mind, again the prasadam is done. That is how even the service also is done. If you see very carefully, when the Brahmanas serve, when everybody is sitting, the Brahmanas bring a dish 3 times. 3 times the dish is brought. And especially certain dishes which is ample. When something is small, 3 times you cannot give. But there are certain things which has to be given 3 times. Like rice is served 3 times, dal is served 3 times, sabjis are served 3 times, puris are served 3 times. There may be something like chips and all those things which can be only served 1 time. Like some fruit is that can be served only 1 time. So in this way, 3 times when you serve the Brahmanas, when the Brahmanas sit, especially 3 times you should serve. Common public is there, you cannot serve this much 3 times. We have to see the quantity also. But when a Brahmana is sitting after the rituals, when the Brahmana sits, has prasadam, you should stand there and serve them at least 3 times. Tina Bharapai, Sabe Harashitamana, Satyakari, Aranahi, Dayakuna Jana. All the Brahmanas were happy to receive those gifts 3 times. So none of them further tried to cheat. Even the gifts also, they got 3 times. Yei matamalaya, chandane guya pane, hailananta marmakeha nahi jane. In this way, no one could understand how the Lord was served by Ananta Shesha in the form of garland, sandal paste, and pan. Now just see here. Ananta Shesha, he serves Krishna in different moods. Balaram himself, he serves Lord in 5 rasas. One of the rasa is Shanta rasa. In the Shanta rasa, he serves as garland, sandalwood paste, pan, your dhoop, deep, all these things are expansion of Balaram himself. That is why when we handle those things, which is used in serving Krishna, they are known as Tadiya Vastu. This Tadiya Vastu has to be handled very carefully because they are expansions of Balaram himself. Manushe paila yatat se thaku kadure, Prithivite padila yata dite manushera, sei yadi prakrita lokera ghare aya, taha te tana pancha vibha nirvahaya. So what to speak of the gifts the people received? If the gifts that fell on the ground during distribution that were collected, it would have been sufficient for 5 marriages. Now see, there are so many things which were falling down while giving. And here, Vrindavan Das Thakur says, even if a person collects that much opulence was there. Even if a person collects this, 5 marriages can be done. The phrase Prakruta Lokera refers to ordinary householders. The amount of garland, sandalwood, pan, bitterness that was left as waste on the ground during the Lord's marriage would have been sufficient ingredients for completing 5 marriages. That was the opulence of Caitanya Mahaprabhu. Whenever Lord's marriage happens, automatically opulence is there. We just have to take a sankalpa. Like every Kartik, we take a sankalpa of doing Tulsi Vivahayatri. Automatically, opulence flows. Ample things are there. We don't have to worry for anything. But as a devotee, one has to take anxiety, no doubt. But there is always an opulence when Lord's marriage happens. Sita Kalyanam, Ramar Kalyanam, this all Sita Rama Kalyanam, Lakshmi Narayana Kalyanam, Padmavati Govinda Tayar Kalyanam. All this Kalyanam is nothing but the ecstasy which everyone experiences while performing the marriage of Krishna. Lord is, why marriage is required for Lord? They are eternal dampatyas. We don't have to make them get married again. But then that is to give us the satisfaction, because we are all liking to go to others' marriages. But then there also we don't experience that happiness. But Lord's marriage, everybody feels excited and everyone is experiencing the happiness. Sakala lokera chitte haila ullahasa, everyone is filled with ecstasy. Sabe vale dhanya 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 adivasa. So this adivas ceremony became so glorious. Adivas ceremony. The marriage is going to start. This is our adivas ceremony, the one day before or prior to the marriage. Such adivas ceremony was so glorious. Lokeshwara o dekhi ache, ye navadvipe hai na adivas nahi kare karo bape. We have never seen such an adivas ceremony performed even in the house of the wealthiest men of Navadvipa. So the people are discussing among themselves. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is not, if you see in the Bhauma Leela, he is not very rich, but he is a scholar. He is not very rich, but he is a scholar. He is a simple Brahmana, born in a simple Brahmana's family, but he is Lord himself. So Sahasra Lakshmi, they serve Krishna. So it is said that even in the wealthiest house also such opulence was not seen. Yei mata chandana mala divya guya bana akate tare keha kabo nahi kare dana. We have never seen anyone distribute sandalwood paste, garlands, pan so indiscriminately, because sandalwood is costly. And here Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has told them to distribute indiscriminately. Tabe Raja Pandita Ananda Chitta Haya Ailena Adivasa Sama Samagri Laya. So carrying all the ingredients for the Adivas ceremony, Sanatan Mishra joyfully arrived. The father of Vishnu Priya comes. So regarding Adivas Gandhasparsha, it is said, the Satkriya Saradipikaha, Gopala Bhatta Goswami says, therefore the activities of Adivas are described. One should collect suitable ingredients and duly perform the Adivas ceremony preferably at dusk or else in the morning. The ingredients for Adivas are clay from the Ganges, Sandalwood pulp, a stone, rice paddy, dhruva grass, flowers, fruits, yogurt, ghee, swastika, sindhura, that is vermilion, conch, kajal, cow urine, mustard seeds, piece of gold, piece of silver, piece of copper, ghee lamp, and a mirror. One should also have fragrant aguru powder, yellow cloth, a brahmana thread, a chamar, a chadar for welcoming the groom. So therefore, thereafter, while holding clay from the Ganges in one hand, one should chant the mantra, let the auspicious ceremony of Gandha Sparsha or applying sandalwood and Adivas be performed. And after offering these items to Lord Vishnu, one should offer them to the bridegroom and bride. It should be done like this everywhere. You see, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur says, marriage ceremony is actually an auspicious ceremony for surrendering to the Lord. It is not just go to the court and just sign the paper and come out. No. Every vidhi has to be followed. Sakriya. Sara Deepika speaks about everything, in which even how to welcome the bridegroom. It's not that just somebody just distributes some wine, dances in a very abominable way. It is to be done with the mantras. Not that everybody comes with a boot and shoes. Such type of bharat also happens. It is so obnoxious to have such type of bharat. Here, Gandha Sparsha, sandalwood pearl, Gomata Sevan was cow urine. If you all remember, 5 years back, when Narayan's and Jumur's marriage ceremony was done, Vivaha Sanskara was done, if you remember, Gomata was kept before welcoming the bridegroom. The Gomata is kept. The girl's family, they serve the Gomata, they welcome the bridegroom. That is how the marriage ceremony happens. Not that you go to some clubhouses, there you fix some hall. Such things cannot happen in the outside, what you call the marriage destination halls. It can never happen. Such things can happen only in temple. The whole Mira Road temple was decorated. The bridegroom and the bride, they did all Tulsi Vivaha, Narsimha Aarti. So all these things has to be followed because we have to set an example. In that marriage ceremony, if you all remember, 4,000 to 5,000 devotees were going on coming, and there was no shortage of anything. That is how here it is said, it should be done like this everywhere. We have to follow this. As devotee who are walking in the path of devotion, everybody has the daughters and sons. Then we should think of performing the marriage ceremony in a very, very wonderful Vedic way. By chanting mantras, one should thereafter have the bridegroom and the bride offer prayers. It's not that the bridegroom puts some goggles. Nowadays, a new fashion. Bridegroom puts the goggles, bride puts the goggles and dances in front of everyone. The most shameless thing which is happening in the society. And that too in the DJ music. I saw one of the so-called devotees, brother's marriage. Oh, I was horrified. Putting some goggles, everybody is dancing in a bad way. Half of the body is seen. So this is all, it should not be done. Prayers have to be offered because both the jivas are coming together to serve Krishna. That is the purpose of the Vivaha Sanskara. That is why Vivaha Sanskara is done, taking one's guru into consideration. First, one's guru's advice has to be taken. Generally, what we do is we just sit with the family members and then all obnoxious things happen. Why everybody gives their material solutions. But if guru is kept in the middle and then the guru's advice is taken, then the guru will advise to have a beautiful, wonderful Vedic way of performing the Vivaha Sanskara. It is not the money which makes two people come together. You spend lakhs and crores. But if it is not done according to Vedic way, Divorce has to happen, or some or the other difficulty has to come. But if a person is performing according to the Vedic rituals, now we had gone to Nasik. They showed us their daughter's Vedic way of marriage ceremony. It's so nice, so wonderful. In Nasik temple, it happened. Devotees have to take this into consideration very, very seriously. They should take. Not that I will do in the way I want. In my daughter, my son. Here they said, bridegroom and the bride should offer prayers. Where they will offer prayers? Only when they are in the temple. No? If you go to some destinations where prayers can happen, you may keep a small photo. Maybe for some time they will come and just worship. Doesn't make a sense. Then one should touch each of the groom's limbs while chanting mantras and offer him 4, 5, or 7 burning ghee lamps. That is how groom, who is Pratinidhi or representative of Krishna, Duta, Vishnu Duta, has to be worshipped in this way. One should perform the Adivas ceremony for a bridegroom and bride according to this procedure. Who is writing this? Sannyasi. Bhakti Siddhartha Saraswati Thakur, who is a sannyasi, is prescribing how the marriage ceremony should happen. That is the sannyas dharma. Sannyas dharma is to guide the people, like Srila Prabhupada guided the society and personally performed marriage ceremony. In fact, the sannyasi should not take part, but to propagate Krishna consciousness, to have Krishna conscious children. First, the Vivaha Sanskara should happen properly. After the Vivaha Sanskara happens properly, then only Garbhadan Sanskara happens. The consciousness has to be purified. Just imagine a girl putting the goggles and dancing to it. She'll have some proper consciousness. And the groom is also drunkard and drinking, and the boys are, his friends are coming, encouraging him to drink more. Is it a Vivaha ceremony? It's a prostitute ceremony. It's not Vivaha Sanskara. It is a market of prostitutes. Vipravarga, Aptavarga, Kari Nija Sange, Bahuvida Vadya Gita Maharange. So he came accompanied by Brahmanas, family members, musicians, dancers, singers. So in this way, following the Vedic injunctions, he then happily applied sandalwood pulp to the Lord's forehead at an auspicious moment. Veda Vidhi Purvaka Parama Harshamane Ishware Gandha Sparsha Kaila Shubhakshane. Before the marriage, Haldi ceremony happens. Actually, it's not just Haldi, it is Chandan. Just because poverty line is more, people, even though rich, they don't have money for Chandan. That is why they put Haldi. It is actually Chandan ceremony. Chandan is applied so that the body will not have more of passion. Haldi is applied, then lot of passion comes. That is why not much haldi is put. It is just the sandalwood paste which is applied so that the body becomes pure. So in this way, the Chandan ceremony happened for Mahaprabhu Gaurasundar. So here we'll stop. Tomorrow we'll see how the marriage ceremony happens. Now this is Adivas. So any questions you can ask. Any questions? Okay, no questions. Small announcement. Sunday, now coming Sunday onwards, we will be starting our regular programs. Our regular programs has Sunday Love Feast, evening Bhagavad Gita class. But this Sunday, just for this Sunday, our service is at Mira Road Temple. Being the head counselor in Mira Road Temple, we have decided, a group of core we have in the core, we have decided that once in a year or maybe 6 months in a year, every congregation should get an opportunity to serve in the Mira Road Temple. Our temple is outpost of Mira Road Temple. So 600 people cooking has to be done. Morning 7 o'clock. Those who are having vehicles, please let me know. They should come by 7 o'clock at Jagannath Temple. Maybe a little more before that, but not after 7. before that, because 7 o'clock we are going to call those people who don't have vehicle facilities. So I prefer 6:45 itself we are there. So 6:45 to 7, those who are coming, we can plan accordingly how many people can sit in each other's vehicle, and then go to Mira Road. At least by before 8 o'clock, we should reach Mira Road. So 8 o'clock to 11 o'clock is very much enough for cooking 5 items. So all the devotees are requested to come this Sunday and serve at Mira Road Temple, not go directly at Mira Road Temple. First come to Jagannath Devasthanam. Let us see how many we can accommodate, because there are new devotees who are coming from local places. They are also eager to come. Let them also do the devotional service by performing the sevas. So this is an announcement which Aruna Mataji, I think you should write it in a format. And personally also you can call all the initiated devotees, give a personal call to all the initiated devotees, give personal call to those devotees who are not initiated also, but who are eager to come. Those who have vehicle
Okay.
facility, please call them and line up properly. Okay, and I'll give you one Srishti Mataji's number who is coming from nearby place. How many want to come from there? That also take it account.
Okay.
Hare Krishna.